flex on the chin. Just keep your head down and carry on. You fight like hell, turn the other cheek. It's what separates the strong from the weak. And that's just the way that the line gets drawn.
All right, everybody, welcome to episode 17 of the 10-Minute Misconduct, the unofficial FPHL podcast. Today, probably my most looked forward to guest, Joe Pace, the Jackie Moon of the Fed Zeno, as Travis Ridgen calls him. I have no idea. I'm blown away still that we got him on our show.
You're very excited.
Yeah.
Yeah, we've been looking forward to Joe for quite some time, so I'm glad that he is able to join us today. And next week we have River Dragons captain Josh Petrantonio, and there might be some surprises coming in with that episode. So make sure you guys tune in to check him out. Me too.
Yeah, our Carolina fans, I know we've had some Carolina fans saying, hey, when are you going to get some Thunderbirds on? Carolina fans, you want to tune in next week to Josh Petrantonio. We have a surprise for you Carolina fans.
Yes.
And we've been trying to reach out to some more Thunderbirds. So just so you guys know, like, we hear you. We're working on it. We're doing the best we can. And we can't always make somebody come on the show or want to come on the show or even open our messages. So we haven't forgotten about you guys. Like, we really are trying. So bear with us. And also go over to our Facebook page. We put up a post. We want to hear from you guys. What you like, what you hate, what you want more of, what you want us to do different. And we want to hear from you guys, like, your honest opinions. And I know not everybody, I think somebody called us unlistenable, which is bizarre because why are they on the page? But, that's just kind of my opinion.
Hey,
but
if they say it's unlistenable, it means they listen.
That's kind of what I was thinking, but,
If they're going to do this, at least they're giving us a like or a watch.
Yeah.
At least they're giving us a pick. So we appreciate you not listening.
Go to our Facebook page, go to the Trash Talk page, and a little bit, I didn't tell you guys this, I'm going to post up some pictures of some hairdos. I need a haircut, okay? And I'm going to let you fans decide how I'm going to cut my hair.
Mullet.
Grow it out.
Yeah. No, but anyway, the league announced this week the playoff format. What it is, everybody, the top four in each division, 1 plays 4, 2 plays 3, so on and so forth. First round, best of 3. Lower seed gets game 1, game 2 and 3 at the higher seed for the first 2 rounds. The finals, it's either going to be best of 3 or best of 5. It depends on ice availability and travel.
Yep.
So obviously, if it's Watertown and Columbus, ice availability first in Watertown. Travel to Columbus, more than likely it's going to be best of 3. Binghamton, Carolina, could be best of 5 depending on ice availability. Hey, Motor City is on fire. It could be Motor City and Danbury. Maybe that'll be best of 5.
Or it could be Port Huron and Binghamton.
I would love to see a best of 5.
Oh, you're serious?
Not really, but yes. Oh, absolutely. I'm serious. Absolutely.
But I'll tell you what, I wouldn't want to play Motor City. They took 2 out of 3 from Columbus. They took 2 out of 3 from Carolina. They won the season series against Carolina.
Wow.
Don't count out Motor City.
They are definitely, don't sleep on them guys because they have stepped up their game, especially since the beginning of the season.
They're my sleeper pick for the championship. Not just the finals, the championship.
They could
definitely play Columbus. Imagine being their first season, that would turn, the heads would roll. It's like, I of course want Columbus to win, but
of course. I'd love to see Elmira win just to get Justin Schmidt the championship.
Yes.
Same thing with Motor City to see Trevor Babin get a championship. That would be amazing. The way that man has played so lights out for the last 2 seasons on essentially a shitty team last year with Delaware, the way he played. He's carrying Motor City in net because he shut down Columbus and Carolina.
And the last thing, really quick, before we get into Joe, I know we're all like super excited to see him. Both my billets will be, one has already left. The season has ended, and my other one is leaving on Friday. So I just want to give a shout out to them. I actually was left this amazing gift right here. My one of them is a goalie, and he left me his goalie, one of his broken goalie sticks, and it said best billets ever. And I'm not like a super emotional person, so like to tear up and be sad. I love you boys both so much, and I want to wish you guys the best of luck. And if anybody out there is interested in billeting, look into it. You know, there's probably a junior league team you don't even know about, like not too far away. So it's been an amazing experience for me, and to watch these guys grow just over just the one season. It's amazing, and I wish you guys the best of luck. So. See ya when I see ya.
That's awesome.
Yeah, we'll miss Chris and Staples.
I know, they're the best. All right, you guys want to get into Joe? I know I'm excited to talk to him.
Oh, let's get it on.
Joe.
Joe.
All right, guys. I've not been this excited for a guest or even an episode since episode 1. So we are honored to talk to. I call him, almost the king of the FPHL. Our buddy Travis Ridgen calls him the Jackie Moon of the Fedzino. Ladies and gentlemen, the one, the only Joe Pace. How's it going, buddy?
Hey, good guys. Thanks for having me on. I don't know about the king. I've just been around the longest. I'm an elder.
There you go. There you go. That's the best way to put it.
Yeah, Don or Barry are probably the kings.
Yeah, there you go. So doing a little bit of research on you, I noticed you're only 3 games away from 500 career games in the FPHL.
Oh my gosh, I didn't even know that.
So what you're saying is, your next Mississippi's next 5 games are on the road. Then you have 2 at home. So you're saying you didn't intentionally get suspended to hit number 500 at home?
I guess it all worked out. So you're telling me this? I'm like, oh, it was fate. It was supposed to be.
Yeah, spoken.
Yeah, but that's a hell of an accomplishment in any league at any level. To hit 500 career games in one league, in a career period. So what contributed to your longevity, being able to last this long in single A without a major injury? That's a hell of an accomplishment.
Knock on wood for that one. That's not planned. You do prepare for that. No one is trained during the summer going, oh, I can't wait this year. Trained really hard. I should get injured around December. Those things kind of just happen. I've had some little minor ones, but nothing that really knocks you out for longer than a weekend or so or something like that. But I've also played through a ton of little bumps and bruises, and what some guys might have sat out 3 weekends or so. I just play through it, and I try to lead by example, do it the old school way. But 500 games in this league. That's a lot of bus trips. That's a lot of miles on the old iron lung. So I don't know how I did that. It was not expected.
Yeah, we've heard some stories from some other players like Amesbury talking about his first season and the old flaming bus pulling into Brooklyn that one day.
Yeah, that was a wild bus trip. That was actually that was my second bus trip in the Fed, and it was very eventful. The first one was extremely eventful as well. So it was wild. The early travel days in Danville were always an adventure. You never knew what to expect.
Yeah, when's the book coming out? Because that'd be a hell of a read.
Well, my brother, Philly, he is serious about sitting down and going over some notes and trying to put together. Because I could tell you the story, we just got to put it in a writer's words, so it's easier to read.
Yeah.
So you've been to many teams and all that stuff, with many startups and all, from Dayton to Port Huron, and I believe Danville as well. Now Mississippi. Which team startup that you were on do you enjoy the most, or did you enjoy the most at, or do you have most memories with?
It seems like they've gotten easier as the years went. So, Danville was a struggle. Dane kind of was seamless. Barry put a few people in there and it just took off on its own. Same with Carolina. Port Huron, we were there for every step of the way, and it was very enjoyable. It was fun, putting down roots there and making a lot of friends and, calling it home. We never thought we would leave. We said a million times we're never leaving Michigan. We're never leaving Port Huron area. Maybe go a little further north. And coming down here was unexpected, but it was much needed for our family. We just didn't know it. And this one has been the most enjoyable, mainly I think because it was the most spread out. From when we announced the neutral site games to when we started our first season, we actually had a lot of build-up time. And that's kind of the formula we were kind of working on is, what's the right steps? When do we move someone to that town? When do we start promoting with boots on the ground? When do we leave the, digital media side and, jump in? And we did it here quite quickly. We were still playing that 2021 season, that shortened season. And we kind of made the decision we wanted to move. A week later, the season ended, and talked to Barry, and he offered us some spots to move. And we were like, it just all made sense. He was like, would you? I was like, we were already thinking about it. And we were gone a month later. It was very quick, but the kids love it. We love it. Biggest complaint is we always have sand in our bed.
It's great because I remember Will and my daughter Willow were about the same age, and it was great to see them both kind of grow up here in Port Huron. That was kind of cool.
Yeah,
it was a pleasure having you up here.
Right, and the kids they were coming to games while they were just out of diapers. They were all in like
yes,
two t-shirts and jerseys. They were all little ones, like 18 months old.
Absolutely, that was great. But now you look at them, doesn't the time go fast now? Look how fast they grow.
Oh, yep. From when we arrived in 2015 till now, it was a blink of an eye. It just flew by. Mainly the kids kept us busy. But all the kids Will grew up with, it's wild to see them now playing for the Port Huron Flags and stuff, or moving down to AAA teams, and just how big they are. Like these kids, they just keep getting bigger and bigger.
They're like weeds.
Yep.
See?
Yep. Yeah. Will's already in my wife Allie's shoes. I'm like, he's got flippers for feet.
Oh, that is so cool. It's a blank. Time goes quick.
I have a Joe Pace fan question here. Travis Tony asked, what is the toughest fight that you've had in your career?
Ooh, a toughest one. They're probably when I was younger. The guys were just so much older and experienced. But, the toughest one that I ever had was Frankie Littlejohn, hands down. He hit hard. He, wasn't afraid of anything. And, he just had me right from the get-go. Before we even dropped our gloves, he had me beat.
Oh, man.
Yeah. So I also have a question from Travis Ridgen, who you were on his podcast, and that was I tell people this should be a great companion episode to that. Go listen to his interview with Joe here after our episode when you're done. But he wants to know, would Pacer and Trav owning a team together be the greatest thing to bring the Fed Zeno to its potential?
Well, if you're asking me, I would say yes, because I think we both have that promoter side in us and that entertainment side. So I think our fans would really love it. I don't know if the rest of the league or other owners would love it, but we would have a lot of fun out there. And, that's what we're trying to push to all the teams is it's the fan interaction. It's the game night entertainment. It's from the minute you walk in the door to the minute you leave. You want to, make it, an event from beginning to end. No more boring intermissions, just watching the Zamboni go around. Let's play music. Let's get people out of their seat, at least the kids. Let's have them having fun. And, I really wish our buildings, they were, custom built for us, because it would be cool what Knoxville's doing. The Ice Bears, they have a lot of spare room behind one set of bleachers in the lower end, and they have a whole fan zone for kids. You can play shinny sticks back there. They got bounce houses. It's just it's like a little carnival.
Oh,
A
wow.
carnival at
That's
the rink.
cool.
And Edric knows my
Yeah.
example that I go off of for perfect hockey rink, for perfect entertainment is the baseball stadium off of Hall Road in Utica, Michigan. They got a wiffle ball field. They have a whole jungle gym for the kids with a rope course, and the kids could go there and be at the ballpark all day, and that's what it should be like at the ice rink. So moving forward, hopefully we push owners and building operators to build a little bigger so we could have room for fun stuff.
You're talking about Jimmy John's Field, right?
Yep.
The one with the three. Yep, Jimmy John's Field.
Yeah.
Yeah. For people that don't know, you have 3 baseball teams that call that home, and it's kind of like a rotating schedule thing where all the games are played in one stadium.
Well, yeah. Let's not get into that because I could argue that that's pretty good because there's no travel. So
Yeah.
I could squeak out another 10 years without bus rides.
Yeah, I could see you and Trav together. That would be a marketing dream, You two have so many ideas. All you gotta do is watch his vlog and his podcast, and you can just hear the creativity in his voice. So I could see you and him being
Is that
amazing partners.
slinging the biscuit?
Yeah, slinging the biscuit. That's and I want to thank Travis too. He gave us a little bit of a shout out this week on his podcast. That was awesome. But yeah, seeing you two together, hell, maybe you should put in for a trade, get his rights from Motor City. You got get you and him down there in Biloxi. Oh my God, that would be amazing.
Right. Well, we talked about so much. I can't even remember if he kind of said it on there, but not to out the Rockers, but he did mention to me that they were telling him to tone it down and watch the social media stuff. I'm like, if you're with me, I'd be like, tone it up, baby. I want everyone in the hockey world looking at the Seawolves. Maybe not this year, and maybe not at the start, but my idea for this season was to film the whole season, like a full startup season, expansion team in the Fed. And we missed out on $1 million gold mine because the stuff that happened this year was just a riot and adventure, but it was drama filled. And I'm sure the episodes would have had people hooked. And, the day we had to let someone go, that would have got people tuning in. So, we would have blew out the Kardashians or the Housewives on all those networks. We would have crushed the Fed Zeno coming at you.
In the Fed, I feel like any season would be a hit, truly. Any season, any team. Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah,
as long as you don't have the owner named Ellen.
Yeah, yeah. But that's a lost opportunity to not do that, because I remember years ago when Wally Backman was coaching independent league in Georgia, the South Georgia Peanuts. They filmed the whole season and turned it into a reality show, and oh my God, some of the content they got was just amazing. There's a viral video of him getting ejected and flipping out. I would love to see a team here in the Fed every night mic somebody up, mic the coach up, and just turn it into a weekly reality show. You got a great idea there that I'm surprised nobody's followed through with yet. Maybe somebody will steal it.
Well, I've tried to tell people, that's when we're gonna make money as players, is when we market ourselves and we put ourselves out there. The owners have to approve of things and having cameras around, but that's why NHL players get paid so much money. It's all the other things that go into it, not just ticket sales. Their ticket sales are good and they sell them for a lot of money and they sell a lot of corporate advertising. But, it's all those, those big deals with all those big TV networks keep everyone getting paid. But, I think we would be so much more entertaining than 24/7 on HBO. You give us an HBO slot, we'll have you hooked like it's, I don't even know, probably since The Sopranos, people weren't even tuning in like that. But it would be fun. And, obviously you see the bad light when you do something like that. You'll see all the crazy incidents and the breakdowns on the bus and all the crazy accidents. but that's what the viewers want to see. So if you shield them from that and make everything look Mr. Rogers perfect, no one's going to want to watch that. So it's like going to NASCAR. You want to see the wreck.
What? No, we come to see pit crews change tires in 14 seconds.
Yep.
No, I remember, like, I think, if I'm right, the first year that we were here around during the warm ups, you guys used to have GoPros or something like that on, and you would warm up with GoPros and put it on YouTube. It was kind of cool to watch what it was looking like from your point of view, warming up out there.
Yeah, actually, and myself and Yanni, we just went back and watched those the other day, and we thought it was so interesting. We actually did some different drills and warm ups back then, so you forgot about stuff like that. But yeah, that was just us kind of doing that. The refs, there's a few refs that have their own GoPros that will do it from time to time around the league. But yeah, I think a show, a weekly, clip it, or if it traveled around the league, it would be awesome. But yeah, to have a crew in every city on any given night while games are going on, it would obviously cost a lot of money, and that's why it hasn't been done yet. To get people everywhere with with all the equipment they need, it's not cheap.
Speaking on crazy situations, are you able to touch base with the recent events happening in Columbus with the last series and your current suspension?
Probably. I'm already
Sorry.
suspended. It was perfect timing. I can't come on, a 10-minute misconduct podcast without just getting a 10-minute misconduct.
That's right.
I was mad, and I didn't even look at the score sheet. I think I was more mad that I took out my frustrations on Chuck Costello, who I absolutely love, and I probably need to call or text him just to say sorry. But yeah, I was so fired up. It was a weird play. There was a puck that bounced behind the defenseman, and no way I'm getting a breakaway. But got in a foot race with, I think it was Austin Doe and Greco, number 24 on Columbus. Just he turned to kind of step in front of me and kind of go after the puck. But, when he stepped out, just stuck his knee right into my knee and got me fired up. I think I got more mad when my man Lucas Helen tried to fight him, and he didn't want any part of it. And that's when I got up, and I'm like, man, you need me. You almost end my career, and then you won't even fight my buddy. Like, come on. And I kind of, lost my shit. Edric's seen me lose my cool more than a few times. So it was.
What? Never. You are always calm.
Yeah, it was like the Joe of old. I just saw red for 1 second, and yeah. So I think I'm most mad at myself for getting that. I don't think I actually got the 4 games until I whacked Chuck in the leg, and that was an asshole move. So my bad.
It was always entertaining to see you and Food back in 2015 start ruffling other teams' feathers. It seemed like you would start something, then Foods would come in there and cleaning up the mess for you and all that stuff, and vice versa. It was pretty fun.
Oh yeah, we just fed off each other. If he was getting rowdy, I just he did a lot of talking, and sometimes I just have to punch someone. Like, he's talking too much. I'm just gonna hit someone and get this thing going. So yeah, we had a few fights where we fought guys at the same time, and none of that was planned. It's just like you look over and you're about to fight and you see your buddy fighting. It's like, well, we got to fight now. We're all fighting. So it's wild how fast it happens on the ice.
Yeah, absolutely.
I just wanted to say, I think it takes a big person to be able to step up and say, oh, my bad, or you know what I mean? So like, thank you for talking about the Costello situation and saying like, oh, maybe I should give him a call and tell him I'm sorry. I think that's pretty admirable.
Well, and when you like you trade a guy, everyone thinks, oh, you're mad at him or you don't like him. Traded Chuck to get McBurney, and it was kind of a tactical move to try to get the rights of a good goalie when he was getting unloaded. Didn't want to see him go to Danbury or Binghamton or Carolina. Want to try to build up Mississippi, and had to make a move. But to lose a player like him, it's, definitely rough. But I feel like Chuck maybe was in a funk, and after I slashed him in the leg, he went out and scored a hat trick. So no one's saying my dirty actions hurt a player, because he went out and scored 3 goals after that, and then hit the post for a 4th one. So Chuck was on fire after I slashed him in the leg. So I think I awoken a dragon inside Chuck.
Can I ask you a quick question, since you brought up McBurney? Is there any word if he will be reporting to Mississippi?
Right now, he is dealing with some family issues back home. So, if anyone knows him or anything, just send out some good vibes or prayers his way and his family. I think, it's just all personal, like nothing playing wise or, the situation here, or what was going on. It was just, talked to him when he left Knoxville, and I said, I'm going to activate you and hold on to your rights. And he said, do it for next year. He's like, I don't know if I'll get any more games in this season. And, told me what was going on, and he just headed home. So hopefully, by the start next year, everything's going good for him. But if anyone's buddies with him, probably shoot him a text or say hi.
Nice. So last season, you and Justin Schmidt went viral for your, what was it, 7 fights or something? And you got on John Boy Media, did a breakdown of your fights. So tell us kind of how the first one started, and then how it just built from there to just you guys every time you're on the ice putting on a show.
Last year was a weird season for me. Living in Biloxi, I went to training camp with Pensacola. Just worked out. Rod's a good buddy, but they were also short guys, so was able to go there and fill in and add a body for him. And then as the season started, I think first weekend I was with Pensacola, did their home opener. Next weekend I flew up to Port Huron for theirs, and I was there I think first 2 weekends, but that was Schmidt's like first games back, and he had asked me to fight, and I kind of I just didn't feel like I was in shape, and the point in the game, it wasn't that rough or rowdy. Guys were taking some stupid minors, but I just I passed it up there and didn't really think about it. And first game in Biloxi, he kind of asked, and I said I'll see how the game's going, and crowd was good, and the game was kind of stale. I think it was 0-0 or 1-1, and figured we both could give our team some momentum. And I hadn't been on the ice with them, and I got on the ice and I saw him make a change. We're both out there together, and the play went his way, and as it came back my way, I just skated from going backwards and trying to play a 3-on-2 to just skating forward, and me and him at the red line. So we just kind of ran into each other, no words, and we both knew what each other were there for. After that, it was again the next night in Columbus. I think first period he asked, "You want one?" And it was again, and from there they just kept going. And after that, it was just like everyone expected, if Port Huron was playing Columbus, for there to be a Pace Schmidt fight. And I don't know. I guess maybe they were getting better. I don't know if they were getting worse. I don't know. They went longer. I feel like we both started punching harder as the fights kept going, but no one was going down anymore. So I'm like, it was a wild year. To have that many fights against the same guy, I have never had that. Even playing against Foose for 10 years, I don't think I ever had, more than, I think we've had 3 or 4, but that's it. So, anything over 4 against a guy, it starts getting weird, but it's like someone's got to win sooner or later. It just never happened.
Yeah, it was kind of nice too. I think the second one in Columbus, they had I think Ian White mic'd up, and there's a mic'd up video, and he's standing by the bench, and all of a sudden you hear Schmidt, "Hey Pacer, you want one?" And there you go, you're off to it. So that was a nice treat when he had it mic'd up, getting to hear it. You don't usually get to hear the request for the fight and the acceptance of it. So that was a nice little side treat for that one.
Oh my gosh, I've never watched that or heard about it, so I'm gonna have to go check it out.
Yeah, I'll text it to you after we're done here. That's a pretty cool video to see.
Oh, that's awesome.
Really quick as a follow-up, we just started a TikTok, and for the first video release, it was a fight compilation, and it was not going to be the first video without a Pace and Schmidt fight. So you guys are on there too.
Oh my
Yeah,
gosh.
where the referee busts his ass.
Oh gosh, that one was.
Yes.
That's another. That was actually, I think, our last one against each other. I don't think we've seen each other since. Maybe one game or something. But yeah, the beginning of this year was weird. Haven't had a year start like this in a long time, and expansion team, whatever, little bad luck. We're in the South, maybe a little Cajun voodoo. Who knows what was happening? But we started to get over it. I feel like next year is going to be a good year. It was a turning point. Halfway through this year, we actually started to turn it on a little bit. You saw players like Yanni and Yarrow, they teamed up, and right now they're number 1 and 2 in the league in points. Yarrow's leading the league in goals. I think he is one hat trick away from beating like Wayne Gretzky's record for like 10 hat tricks in a season. So the guy's just been crushing Russian. The guy's that's just a Russian sniper. I'm like, all the nicknames are sick. I wish I was Russian.
So who are you pulling for in the finals or in the playoffs? Who do you secretly want to win? Everybody wants to know.
Well, it's hard if you're not in it. You hope everyone loses. It's like the COVID year. Just send everyone home. Just send them home. No one gets to win. But it's hard. Danbury, good team. Columbus, good team. I think the third team that comes in there is Carolina. I think, Binghamton, they have a good roster on paper. I know they haven't been playing that well lately, but you could say that about everyone. I think Danbury's on a little bit of a heater, and we're going in there this weekend. But last time we saw them, we picked up both wins on the weekend against them. So, anyone in the league is beatable on any given night. It's just who wants to show up, who has the legs. But if I had to say right now, if I had to just guess and throw something out, I would probably say a Danbury Carolina final. I could see, Carolina upsetting Columbus. I think Columbus is a good all-around team. Carolina, they are stacked on goal scorers. You think about guys that score goals on that team, it's like Salak, Panachek, then you get to
Ford.
that new guy Rowe, and then you still haven't mentioned Ford in there, and then you have Baker. It's just like every forward they have in the lineup is a goal scorer besides for my man Peavy. Blake Peavy, I don't know, he just takes face-offs and gets under everyone's skin.
Yep. Well, when we had Justin Schmidt on our podcast, he told us a story about the water balloons throwing to guys from up in the rafters. So we heard his side of the story. Let's get the other side of the story. What do you remember about that day, and what was your initial reaction and thought when you thought, who the fuck's throwing water balloons at us?
Well, the sped up version, Friday night game. I don't know how it went, but at that point in time, probably didn't go well. Get to the Saturday morning skate, and we're on the ice, and I was just out there in a tracksuit. I was probably running late. Some of the guys are out there. I don't even know if the whole team, like the injured guys or banged up guys, were just getting treatment. And something fell and like hit the glass. I was like, what? And I'm looking up, and the ceiling in our building is so high. It's like you look like an ant when you're up there. So I'm looking up at the ceiling, and I don't see anyone. Well, all of a sudden, a second later, I see something else fall, and it went in the stands. And I'm like, stuff's falling from the ceiling. I'm like, oh my gosh. I look up and I see someone's like arm out over the railing, and I could see it's like a, like a balloon, but you can see like little fingers on it. I'm like, and I'm putting it all together. I'm like, someone filled up a medical glove with water and they're dropping them from the ceiling. And the third one comes down, and I, try to throw a puck up there. And that's when I noticed it's Schmitty. And that's when I called everyone over to the bench and just gave him a hard time. I'm like, really? I'm like, you're going to let people throw water balloons at you? I'm like, that's what kind of team you are? I'm like, because I'm not playing on that kind of team. I was like, and that's when they started losing it. And I kind of left. I was like, that's it. You guys don't want to stand up for yourselves. And they were yelling, whatever happened. I left, showed up to the game. I get there. I start putting on my gear. And all of a sudden I get asked, like, are you starting? I was like, I don't know. Am I? They're like, are you fighting? I was like, I don't know. Do you need me to? They're like, we already got 5 guys. I was like, okay, I'll watch you guys. And puck dropped, and fights broke out everywhere. And warm ups that night were an adventure too. So it was wild. But yeah, the boys were fired up, and I might have got under their skin. I might have fired them up a little bit, but it was just one of those things that just Schmitty being Schmitty, trying to be a little comical, but like I said, I was just like, hey, when you pull practical pranks, it's easier to pull them on your own team. Once you start trying to pull them on the other team, that's where in our sport probably fisticuffs are going to happen. So it was all it was in all fun and games, and the fights weren't that bad, and no one got beat up too bad. But that really after everything, we were probably still, at that point, only 4 or 5 games into our rivalry. So it really lit the flame. It was needed.
Well, kind of talk about lighting flames and all that stuff. I remember when you were up here and all that stuff. You had a lot of interest in Blue Water Championship Wrestling and all that stuff. Now I see that you're doing something down in Mississippi. If for people that are not watching, tell folks what you do.
Oh, it was every kid's dream, wrestling around in the bedroom or the basement or on the couch, slamming someone. You wanted to be someone, if it was Hulk Hogan or Macho Man or The Rock or whoever, Stone Cold. But, we all loved wrestling growing up. Yep, look, there you go. You didn't know if you wanted to be Mick Foley or Cactus Jack or maybe Mankind.
Even I've been to a WWF match. Yep.
So I loved it. Looked into it one year after the whole team. We got together in Port Huron. There was a bunch of us. We watched WrestleMania with my son Will, who was just getting into wrestling, and we were all having fun with it, trying to guess who was going to win the matches and betting against each other and trying to just have fun with it. And my wife's like, why didn't you ever go and do this? I'm like, wrestle? She's like, yeah, you should be a wrestler. This is you. And I was like, you're telling me I could wrestle? She's like, well, yeah, if you could do it. And I was like, I got on the phone the next day and I found out where I could start training and, figured it out. And, did a lot more training than actual wrestling in matches, but, it got me prepared for, every season, doing all summer wrestling. It is one heck of a workout. It's like cardio to the max. And, I was using it as a training tool, and I wasn't afraid to wrestle. I just didn't have time, and, got down here and I said, man, I really miss my buddies and training. I love to get wrestling up and going down here. I'd love to buy my own ring or something, do it, or rent one and, do some events on off weekends or right at the end of the season to get the guys involved. Like at the end of every year, do like a Seawolves Mania and bring in wrestlers and have the team get involved and have fun with it. And a guy from down here heard me talking about it. And next thing I know, he started a wrestling company. And, I'm just happy I'm a part of it. And it's been so much fun. First event, we completely sold it out, standing room only. And they just did another event this Saturday night while we were in Columbus, sold out again. So, it's just been it's been a blessing. It's so much fun to have wrestling in your life. My wife is probably, she is a good hockey fan. She's a really good fan. Cheers to everything, like exactly what you want out of a fan. And, boos the other team. At wrestling, she is I'm probably number one wrestling fan in the world. Like, doesn't matter if the match is 2 guys she knows or 2 strangers. She is 110% involved in that match and screaming at them and yelling and getting on the heel and yelling at the bad guy. So, it's just a riot when we get out to a, event. If I'm involved or not involved, it's always fun.
Yeah, I
You should make her. You should make her the manager like Macho Man and Elizabeth or something like that. You could like come out there the king or something like that, and like have her as your little manager.
Yeah. So I guess we'd have to get her involved. My gimmick, I don't love it, but she came up with it at home. We were coming up with names, and you're supposed to make a list of your favorite gimmicks. Hulk Hogan, Hollywood Hulk Hogan, that stuff. So Hollywood Joe, and then ones you hate, like if it was a clown or the garbage man or whatever. And I was like, oh, a real like hillbilly redneck guy like Bojo, and she's like more like Bo Joe. And then it never left. It didn't matter if I need a
Oh my
shower
god!
after the gym. She's like, oh, Bo Joe's here. Bo Joe, go shower. Oh, and at my first match, they just looked at me and they're like, what's your name? And I'm like, they're like, what's your gimmick? I'm like, panic mode. I'm like, B.O. Joe? They're like, okay. They wrote down B.O. Joe and we moved on. They're like, what's your music? I'm like, I don't know. I'm like, didn't think about any of these things. I never thought I would say B.O. Joe out loud. And now I'm B.O. Joe.
yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
got to
B.O. Joe's
do.
here, baby. Oh, yeah.
Yeah, I got to do some professional wrestling too years ago, and I was actually trained by Marty Jannetty. So if you ever want to get in touch with him, let me know. I'll shoot him your number.
No, absolutely. Hopefully as the wrestling company down here grows, they do exactly what you've seen Marty do at other places. Go in, sign autographs, meet people, be the main attraction for some shows. So right now on pure excitement and just being new, everyone's coming out. So I'm like, we just got a beautiful venue, and I'm like, you can't tell me we're in our third show and we're already outgrowing it. I was like, people are just gonna have to deal with it.
When's the first pay-per-view?
Oh, I don't know, but it's just fun right now. Hopefully we could get a lot of the stuff up on YouTube and just kind of grow it down here. The big thing I want to do with it is, I love wrestling, but like hockey, wrestling, everything, there's not many years left of being an athlete and performing. I'm a year and a half, 2 years, I'm 40 years old. So you get up there and guys like Yager and Ric Flair, they could play until they're wrestling until they're 60. But it's just one of those things. I'm happy it's here. I want to grow the other side of it, the training side, the school. I want to help the guys get some recruits in there and do that, just like we did with hockey. You run the Learn to Skate, you grow the youth program, and the pro team grows. So you get everyone involved and interested, and you get them hooked.
That's awesome.
So last season, after a game in Columbus, I stayed after. I actually got to meet you, and I used to sit in the section behind the penalty box, and you happened to be in there that night, and we're chirping and chirping. You're chirping back with us, and the crowd's going nuts. And I had this whole like image in my head of like, oh my God, this dude, whatever. And then I meet you, and I'm like, nicest guy in the world, And so I think sometimes people may forget that like who you are on the ice may not be who you are off the ice. So I wanted to give you a shout out for that, because you were just so awesome with the fans after that game specifically. But I've heard many fans say how awesome that you are. So, but I am curious, what arena or what teams, I guess, fans have the best chirpers in your opinion?
Well, I'm happy we had a good interaction, but yeah, this is me, and on the ice it's different, and I love it. Not very often in life you get to be the bad guy and really feed everyone into it and stir it, like egg them on and stuff. So it's fun. I've had so many fans come up and say, we love to hate you. They're like, we like you so much, we love to hate you. I'm like, I guess that's a compliment. But this past weekend we had a few good ones in Columbus. One of them right behind the penalty box, he ended up as a meme or a TikTok or a reel on my wife's Instagram story there.
He's actually a friend of mine. His name is Sam.
Yeah.
I think he met you after the game, actually.
Sam's IG famous in our circles right now. People are loving to laugh at him. But Columbus has always
Yeah.
been good. Carolina, they're good, but I wouldn't say the chirps are good. They just know how to like get on you and get rowdy and send their kids down to yell at you. Same thing in Danbury. I don't know if they're good chirps. They're just chirping a lot. They're just getting a lot of them out. But
Yeah.
I would say probably over the years, Akwesasne, Watertown, Danbury, and then Columbus, Carolina. They've all been pretty good and rowdy. I think probably some of the tamest were probably probably Cape Cod and some of these places where there wasn't many people at the game, so there's no one really to yell at you. There's less than 600 people there. Who's yelling at you?
Nice.
Did you play in that game? I think I saw something like a game in Martha's Vineyard or something like that you guys had on boats or something like that.
Yeah, years ago we did neutral site games everywhere, but Cape Cod actually operated a season or two where they played out of numerous different arenas all around the Cape Cod area, because in Massachusetts it's so spread out there, that Cape Cod area. They were playing at arenas that were like an hour and a half from each other, so you kind of got two different fan bases. They weren't driving all that way to go to the game. But then we did one. They did two games. We played in one of them out on Martha's Vineyard on the island. So I didn't even know where we're going. We're going to Martha's Vineyard. I thought there was a bridge. So the bus pulls up and stops at a marina, and they're like, "We're here." I look, I'm like, "Where are we?" We're at the water, and there's boats, and they're like, "No, we got to take the boat to the island." I'm like, "The boat?" I looked at the boats. They're like, said ferry. They said, "We're taking the ferry." We looked at the boat. There were fishing boats. They're little fishing boats. So we got on these fishing boats. The way out there, we were freezing. And I guess they went out there on a boat that had a big cabin. So all the guys were inside. They were warm. We're outside. We're freezing. The way back, we switched boats. So some of our guys got the cabin. Their team was stuck completely exposed to the weather. They left first. They kind of beat the storm. It was raining a little. They got rained on. They were all soaking wet. We came across in the middle of the perfect storm. I thought it was George Clooney or something. I thought I was going to die out there. But the waves were huge. They were coming into the boat like at least head height, splashing into the back of the boat. And there's probably 7 of us standing out on the back. It was Dustin Skinner, Lee McClure, Chris Effinati, myself, Justin Molovac, and maybe 1 or 2 other guys. And we were up to our knees in water most seconds as the waves were crashing in. We were all saying our prayers and laughing, and we're like, that one skit, whatever, like, "I love you boys, but we're all going to die." Like, that's what was going on. That voiceover came from that boat that night.
Wow.
Perfect. Well, we have a segment that we try to do every now and then, and we talked about it, and I think you're going to be a perfect guest for this segment. We call it Chirp or Turtle. And what it is, we'll ask you like a word association kind of question, and first teammate that comes to mind, if you don't want to answer, you just say you're going to turtle, and I don't expect Joe Pace to ever turtle, so I think this is going to be so much fun.
Oh, gosh.
So my first question is, what teammate, past or present, is most likely to wake up with women's underwear on his head and not remember how it got there?
Dustin Skinner.
No hesitation.
No, it's going to get him in trouble, but whatever.
Good, Ed.
What past or present? What player would be late to the party or last to the party?
Myself. I got 3 kids at home. I'm always late.
Yes, exactly. You never know when a diaper needs to be changed, right?
Understandable.
That's why when your reservations are
Who
at
would
6,
you
your wife
not-
tells you they're at 5.
Who would you not let date a family member?
Oh, Dustin Skinner. There's more than just him. I'm not picking on Skins. I love him. He's down in Florida running a youth program. The guy's doing amazing. But Skins. I don't know. There's a few of them, but there's definitely a few dangerous ones out there. That if I had a sister, I'd be like, you're not coming to the game.
So, who's most likely to walk into the movie theater and grab a tub of popcorn out of the trash to get free popcorn?
Oh, that would probably be Jay Kenny. I think he would just do it to be funny. I don't even know if he would do it if he was hungry. Just eat out of the trash.
Just why not?
That guy was always up to anything. And I would say if we did it after a bender, it would be Matt Robertson. And we could probably sell him on the idea that it was brand new, too. It was fresh.
What player would most likely use conditioner and take extra special time with their hair?
Ooh, extra special time with their hair. There's been a few. I know this year we got a few guys that always have nice do's. I know Yanni Liarakos, our roommate here, he might spend a little extra time on that hair. I know Matt Caranci as well. It seems like some of the older guys, but over the years we've had some big ones. But I would say Yanni this year.
Who would you say sings but shouldn't?
Oh man, probably again Yanni. Maybe our new guy, Jesse Michelle. He's. I've seen him sing some karaoke. They probably shouldn't. We've had some good karaoke sessions on the bus this year, so to keep us entertained, keep the rookies going. So there's a few of them out there that shouldn't touch a mic.
I think we got time for one more round, then we'll go to your surprise. So, who's most likely to wake up in bed the next morning with a half-eaten burrito?
Ooh, a half-eaten burrito in the bed. Over the years, there's been some wild ones, but like FHL guys that I would say Julian Frazier. Blast from the past.
Would be the last one out of bed.
Oh, the last one out of bed?
Yes.
Oh, 100% Matt Caranci. Guy sleeps all day. I know he has trouble sleeping, but if you catch him, he's sleeping. You go by his apartment, he's sleeping. Or just getting up.
All right, and for our last question, who would you say is the life of the party?
Oh man, there's been a few over the years that have always lit the team up and got us going. There was some party teams in Port Huron. There's some guys that just got everyone going, but no one got the guys going like Robo did in Port Huron. He would get the guys, just fired up. I think just even his presence or knowing that, the guy was coming out of the gas station with a six-pack or something after a big win was going to get everyone, excited. They knew the jams were going to be pumping on the bus. The stereo was going to be cranked all the way up to 30 or whatever the max is, and everyone was awake and drinking and hanging out, and no one was allowed to sleep. So, Robo, he was a great captain and leader, but I think a better partier. Good
Nice.
goal scorer,
Well,
great drinker.
Wonderful. Well, I know you said you have a surprise for us. Originally, we were hoping to get Jackson Bond on after the son of a bitch almost cut his finger off.
Yeah, well,
before we get to your surprise, tell us a little bit about that moment and what was going through the guy's head when he's like, I'm going to open the can with my skate and cut my finger off.
So, everyone has something they pass out after games and wins. Well, halfway through the year this year, we switched it a few times till we found something that was us. And years ago, we made a coat with money signs all over it. It looked like Ted DiBiase's coat, and it was supposed to be just like that. It was the money coat. and we called it the money coat, and we wore it anytime we wanted to go out and raise money or make money. You wore the money coat, and it's big, flashy gold money signs all over it. So I wore it to a game. We won, and we passed it out, and that kind of became the post-game thing. Who was money tonight? And you gave it to the guy that was most money in the game. Jackson won it. He said his little thanks, guys. We all earned it. Blah, blah, blah. Great win. And someone threw him a beer and wanted him to shotgun it. Well, nowadays, everyone's got a shotgun it in style. I came from back in the day when you used a key or something. Now everyone wants to bite it, or smash it, do something. Well, he tried to smash it on the heel of his skate, and he went so fast and so violently, he just gashed his thumb. And then everyone was freaking out, and I don't even think he got one stitch in it, but he flapped the skin. Those skates are sharp, and actually right after that, a rookie on our team, 20-year-old Kyle Russell, he got stepped on 2 weeks ago and got a gash right about here on his face from a skate, and that one was way worse. It was wicked, about 17 stitches. So, but he's still pretty. So tell the girls not to worry. Russell still looks good.
Chicks dig scars.
Yes, they do. This guy, he came onto the Seawolves this year, with just a tremendous presence. He, from the first day he was here, proved to everyone he wanted to be a Seawolf, forever, in and out. He was just bleeding Wolfpack, and he's been, probably one of the best rookies I've had around in years, and cares a lot about his teammates and the team, and guy knows how to throw fists. I know that. So let me grab him right now. I think he's playing with 2 kids and 2 dogs, because I hear them. I'm like, will you guys please settle down? I'm like, we're trying to record over here. Hold on.
All right. Oh, shit, who the fuck do we got? Who do you think it is?
I think it's Yanni.
Think it's Yanni or Michelle?
Only because he mentioned roommate. He said roommate, yes. And so I'm thinking maybe he might be there.
Yeah.
Hey guys, without any further introduce, here you go. Number 11, Lucas Helen.
Ah.
Hey.
To give you a fighter.
10-minute misconduct. How are we?
How's it going?
How are you doing, bud?
Not too bad. Not too bad.
Yeah, I like to get some background.
Oh, yeah. Always
Well, it sure sounds like you've made an impression on Joe, because he was telling you how you've been a wonderful addition to the team. You're not willing to mix it up. You went a couple rounds this past weekend with Greco, I believe, and really you really showed you got some mettle there going with him, and I'm sure playing in Biloxi, that's a hell of a place to play for your rookie year, sitting there on the beach every damn day, huh?
Oh yeah. I mean, I hope I've made a good impression this past weekend. When I went Greco, it wasn't that outcome I necessarily wanted. It was over pretty quick, but I've had some ones in the past where it's gone my way, and I really just like doing anything I can for the team. And like you said as well, living in Biloxi has been a time, so nothing to complain about.
I'm sure getting to live with Joe Pace, that's got to be an experience in itself.
Oh yeah. I mean, I stay at one of the housings, player housings, but I've been over here, and it's he's got a great family. He's living my dream. So
that's awesome. Can you tell us about maybe the best experience you've had this season, whether it's on the ice or off the ice, with your team?
Yeah, I would say when we swept in Delaware and got to go see our nation's capital, that was pretty good. On the way back, we had some time to take and go tour DC. It wasn't a place I've been to before, so got to do some sightseeing, hanging out with the boys, and there's plenty of memories there.
Yeah, that sounds awesome.
Is that one of the best parts about playing maybe minor league sports? Period. You're not exactly making a fortune, but you're getting to travel to parts of the country that a lot of people aren't going to get to go. Like you said, getting to go to the nation's capital.
Yeah.
Maybe you might some players might get to go to like the Grand Canyon, depending on where they are, or Niagara Falls. Is that one of the best parts about playing minor league sports? Period, is getting to go to these places.
Yeah, getting to go to these places. I mean, I moved away from home at 15 to play midget, so I've been all over the country playing, but I've never got an opportunity to play in the South, this deep in the South. Um, and I mean, obviously,
Yeah, can't get much further,
yeah,
huh?
no, seriously. I mean,
Yeah.
I was in Austin, Texas this past year playing junior, so that was a new experience in itself. But Mississippi's a whole new experience.
Did you play for the Ice Bats?
Yes, I did. Yeah.
Okay. I actually bill it for the El Paso Rhinos. So when you said Austin, I was like, I wonder if he was an Ice Bat. That's
Oh,
cool.
seriously? Okay. So those games get rowdy. That
Mhm.
was my favorite place to play when we got to come play you guys. That was extremely rowdy.
Yeah, the arena there, we got some loud fans.
Yeah, it was the first.
Small arena, but the crowd is loud.
Oh yeah, first time I needed a police escort out of the locker room, so I didn't play out there. At the end of the year, I ended up playing for OKC, and we went there for the first round, and it was rowdy. It was rowdy.
Very cool.
Yeah.
Can you tell us what it was like billeting for the first time? Were you like super intimidated walking into a home of someone you've never met to just be like, well, we're family now?
Yeah, I mean, for me, I guess it was just all new. So I'm from Montana originally, so I grew up on a small farm, and quite what I considered normal was definitely not the norm. But I feel like everyone, you want to move away from home at some point and experience something else. And my first year away from home was in the Springs area in Colorado, so I got the opportunity to move in with a family there that was originally from California. And at first you're kind of like, oh, what are the do's and don'ts here, especially at that age, right? You're used to. I'll give an example. So in one of the billets I was in, it was like, I'm rinsing my dishes off in the sink, and the mom was like, oh, like, why are you washing the dishes? The dishwasher will do that. Just little things like that where it's like back home, I would have got yelled at for not washing them off first. So it's a cool experience, and I think it made me grow up a lot quicker than most kids, just because you have to be on your own, but not on your own in a sense, and learn how to. The biggest thing is learning how to communicate with people and deal with people. That's what life's about, right?
What's your What's your favorite memory so far, or this past season?
Favorite memory from this past season? Oh. Gotta think on that one. Favorite. There's been a lot of them. I think it was the first one, or not the first, but one of the first fan interactions I had after the games at home. We go out to the signing table, and we get a chance to meet the fans and sign stuff for them. And we go out there, and there's probably 100, 150 people out there, going nuts. And I sit down, it quiets down. I just hear Helen, and it's some little kid just screaming my name. And he comes over, and he's wearing my jersey and tells me he wants to be just like me and be a hockey player. And he was also a little light-skinned kid. So it's always good to see that minorities are looking at the game like it's a possibility as well. So that was super cool for me.
That's nice. So this
Absolutely.
was a nice surprise to get to talk to you. Obviously we weren't expecting this at
Thanks
all.
for being here.
It's an amazing surprise, and and we appreciate you coming and jumping on a little bit.
Yeah, of course. This is
it's
the
nice
first
to get to
podcast
talk to.
I've done, so it's
Well, we'll definitely
Aw,
plan to have you
that's
back
so
on and
cool.
get you your own episode sometime in the future.
Oh, that'd be unreal. And I see the
Yeah.
names here: Lee,
Yeah.
Anna, Edric. Thanks for having me on, guys. This is what was this 10-minute misconduct? I'll have to go back and watch all the past episodes. I'm not too familiar, but I'll get familiar.
And don't forget to subscribe.
Of course. I like the plug.
Check us out, honestly. And if you send us a friend request, we'll send you the link.
Yeah, that'd be unreal.
When the episode drops.
Yes.
Cool. All right. Well, thank you so much for joining us.
Of course. I'll go see if I could grab Joe from the kids.
All right.
Okay.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Tag him in.
Right.
Are we all done, guys?
Okay.
Oh yeah, that was a nice
Yes,
surprise.
that was such a treat.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Thanks for the surprise, dude.
Right. Well,
We
I
told
was
him,
heading home, and I texted him. I was like, "I'm going on a podcast." I was like, "Want to meet me at the house?" And he's like, "Yeah." I'm like, "That's why I texted him." Like, he's a great guy.
We're definitely
that's
gonna
so
get
cool.
him back for his own episode. He seems like he has a nice story to tell.
Oh yeah, I figured it was a good segue into
Absolutely.
his own personal episode, and most guys don't even think about him when it comes to that. Like on podcasts, everyone asking for the older guys and stuff, but we have some pretty entertaining young guys, and I think this year he stepped up big time. He fought some big name people and did really well. Had a good bunch of good fights against Ozo, and has absolutely destroyed some other guys, and I feel like for his weight class, he's just cruising through, and I think he's fighting outside his weight class, he's fighting bigger guys too, and he does really well. So I think a lot of guys are afraid of him too. So you never know where that punch is coming from.
No. Joe, I got to tell you, this was a lot better than I thought it was going to. I knew it was going to be great, but you exceeded my expectations today, and I cannot thank you enough for agreeing to come on and do this for us.
No, yeah, as you run through the guys, every 12 months or whatever, hit me up. Let's do it again. So we'll check back in.
Oh,
Absolutely.
I'm already going to pencil you in for our first month of the season. Next season we got to get you back, get an update on how everything is going there in Biloxi.
No, yeah, absolutely. I'm jealous of you guys. I love getting on podcasts and talking and telling stories and all that stuff, or digging for more details on something. So I'm jealous, guys. Have fun with it. So till next time, I'm definitely gonna be listening. Waiting for the next.
Thank you. It was great to see you.
Yes, thank you so much. I appreciate it. Thank you.
No problem, guys.
Bye.
Thank you.
Have a good night.
All right. Wow. That went a million times better than I could have imagined with Joe Pace. I knew we were going to get some stories, but wow, he's definitely going to be my top 2 favorite guest, if not my favorite guest so far.
That was definitely a fun episode.
Absolutely. I hope the viewers, I hope you guys enjoyed it and had as good of a time watching it as we did talking with Joe. It was a great experience, and I'm looking forward to having him back next season for sure.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that almost 1 hour total with him, it flew by.
It's like we got into a time machine.
Yeah, absolutely. But let's get in this. We got time to thank our sponsors like we do every week. Of course, we have Justyce Haymaker Smoke and his merch store. He's actually doing he's calling it a baffle. It's like a raffle. It's $10 to get in. 2 winners will get a free hoodie and a free T-shirt. So head on over there. The link's in the description. We help to fund his fight camp, and in return, we're going to sponsor his fight trunks and his fight banner for Ice Wars 3.
Yeah, and we also have the Chattahoochee Valley Warriors. Go check out their link. We put a new link in the description that'll take you directly to their website, but they do great things. They get veterans on the ice, teach them how to skate, let them play hockey. So they're a great organization. So please make sure you go check them out.
And we have intended copy from me. We have the link below. Not much to explain. It's fresh coffee, freshly harvested. Come join the Coffee Explorer program. And Lee, don't we have somebody special coming up now?
Yes, we have a new sponsor, which we are extremely excited to announce our new partnership with Live Bearded and their amazing beard care products. I've been using their products now for a little over a week. And living here in the dry climate in New Mexico in the high desert, I get dry skin under my beard, especially right here in my chin. Since the first time I used their moisturizing beard oil, my dry skin and the flakes in my chin have completely disappeared. I have not had any problems with that in the last week. Their product works. So if you're interested, if you have a beard, it doesn't have to be a big bushy beard like mine or Ed's. Any beard, go to the link in
Like
our
mine.
description.
Yeah.
Use our promo code 10MINFED 10 MINFED in capital letters at checkout. Get 10% off of your order, and you'll support our show in the process. Of course, we want to thank Live Bearded and thank all of our listeners for making this show possible. Go check it out. They have a $10 sample pack. You get all their different, I call them flavors, all their different spells, single-use packets, and guys, it works. 100% works. So we're glad to welcome them in as our new sponsor. So now we have a very special treat for everybody. This past Tuesday, Ricky Gunn's new single was released, and now he's going to join us. So, ladies and gentlemen, welcome. Here to perform his new single, Ricky Gunn. He does our theme song for us, and he's gracious enough to be here with us. Ricky, how's it going, brother?
What's going on, you guys? It's a pleasure.
Thank you so much for joining us.
Thank you.
Absolutely. I appreciate you guys having me.
When we first started this podcast, we needed a theme song. And I reached out to you and said, hey, your song that we used for our theme song, was perfect. That chorus was perfect for a hockey podcast. And I asked you for permission to use it. And you were like, we could use anything. And I'm like, dude,
Any of them.
that means so much to us to be able to use that. And we couldn't think,
Brother, I'm glad it worked out, man. I'm really like I said, that's when you reached out and asked me, that's why I was like, whatever you want to use, brother. Like, you feel free to use it. So whatever works out for you guys, do what you got to do.
Yeah, so when you said you had this new song coming out, I reached out to you and said, hey, why don't you come on and do your debut performance, your live performance, your new song. Come on. It's the least we could do for everything you've done for us. So let's go ahead and hear the new song, bro.
Let's do it. Yeah, it went live last night at midnight. It's called Nothing Like You, and man, it's no kid. It's probably one of my favorites that I've ever written. So it's just a fun song. So here we go. It's nothing like a whiskey. Yeah, whiskey on rocks. It's nothing like a sunset sitting next to while these Alabama docks.
baby, girl, there's nothing like you. There's nothing like you. There's nothing like living in the same small town that we used to. Raising hell with one another, sneaking out under the cover